and the effective way of taking full advantage of chanting the holy name. As we have discussed before, generally, as Krishna says in the Gita, Yajnanam Japayagyosmi. Of all the sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy name. Now, how is it a yajna? And what is it being offered? In a yajna, basically, there is an ahuti being offered, sacrifice. So, similarly, the only thing we are offering in chanting of the holy name is our consciousness. And therefore, trying to chant effectively really means with attention. In other words, trying to hear when we are chanting. So, as we have discussed, I don't know if we have discussed here, but I always discuss the 3P formula for good chanting in terms of manasa, vacha and karmana. Body, words and mind. So, in terms of body, the first P stands for posture. And the ideal posture is any posture that helps you to be alert. Not too relaxed that you may, go to sleep, which may happen if you're really tired at the end of the day, or if you haven't had good sleep. Not too stiff, so that your focus attention goes to your posture. Just relaxed, but alert. Samakaya Shiro Griva. Krishna explains in the Gita, the body, the neck and the head ideally should be in a straight line. That is to keep us alert during our chanting. The second P with regard to words refers to pronunciation. Not eating up the words, but trying to clearly pronounce the holy name. Because imagine if somebody calls you and doesn't pronounce your name. Of course, Krishna sees the heart, doesn't see the lips. But still, as an expression of love, we want to offer the best. So we chant as clearly as possible. And thirdly, the third P stands for the mind being prayerful, truly taking shelter of the holy name, just as a drowning man takes shelter of a rope thrown to him by a savior. Imagine if a person is drowning in the ocean and someone throws a rope, how he would catch it? With all his attention, knowing that if I leave this, I am finished. Or as Draupadi called to Krishna as she was being disrobed. That is the mood. Helpless, with all faith and with all sincerity. So let us chant. Maybe you can. Yeah. My throat is a little bad today. We can all chant loudly together along with her. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram, Ram 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 Ram, Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Looks like some of your beads have more than 108. I would like to thank all of you for coming right on time to be a part of this group chanting. Somehow, when chanting of the holy name is done, especially individual chanting is done collectively in a group, the energy of devotion, of all the sincerity of devotees comes together, and many have expressed that acts for the rest of the week as a charger. And I hope most of you, Hari Bol, Jai Ho. Krishna Prem Prabhu is one of our very, very senior devotees, and he has blessed us by his presence. So, I hope all of you are taking out time to at least every day chant at least one round. If you can chant more, wonderful. I hope all of you are at least taking out time. If you do not have beads, you can ask Monica Mataji and collect it from her. And please make it a habit. It doesn't matter any part of the day, whether it's in the morning, whatever time, exclusive time you get to sit, ideally in front of the Lord or anywhere, and focus at least to chant, to begin with at least one round. That really enhances the consciousness in which we work for the rest of the day. So, thank you very much. Today we'll not chant the Radha Madhav prayers because my throat is really bad, so we'll straight away come to discussing the Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guruhu Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya De Shri Krishna Pa Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vallaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So in the last session was a wonderful festival of the welcoming of deities. Last time we had concluded till verse 18. As we have discussed, the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, which is the summary of the rest of the chapters, Krishna is basically concluding. He had actually completed the Gita in 17th chapter, but he is concluding and emphasizing the essence in the 18th chapter, consisting of the maximum number of verses, 78 verses. It can be broadly classified, not exactly, but one way of doing it is to subsections. And the acronym for 18th chapter is SMILE, which means hopefully at the end of the Bhagavad Gita you will all be smiling, not only here in the class, but in any situation of life. That is the sign of Sthita Pragya. In the second chapter, Arjuna asked, who is a Sthita Pragya? A self-realized person. And Krishna explained, not smiling doesn't mean that you are just kind of fixed kind of a smile on your face. Not like that. Not to be disturbed by the dualities of life. Does it mean that if there are difficulties that come, you won't be disturbed? If good situations come, you won't be happy? Yes. Heat and cold, happiness and distress, honor and dishonor, success and failure, fame and infamy. This is part of the world. You can't have one side of the coin without the other. But the thing about a self-realized soul is that he does not allow these dualities to affect his constitutional duty. Jiver Swarup Hoy Krishna Nitya Das. The eternal nature of the soul is to serve Krishna under all circumstances. Whatever he does, he offers it as a result to Krishna. Doesn't mean change of dress, change of hairstyle, change of location from city to the Himalayas. It means dedicating whatever one is doing in a dutiful, detachment way, offering the results to Krishna, and not to be deterred under any dualities, which is very difficult. Those of us who have begun some sadhana, chanting a few rounds a day, trying to follow some principles of purity, when some even little bit circumstances change, we become so disturbed, we just put everything of our devotional activities, which is like sadhana. Sadhana means activity which help us to be connected to Krishna for the rest of the day. It's just like charging your mobile phone. If you don't charge, when you need the most to connect with someone, you will be disconnected. And then you realize, "Arey yaar, kal charging maine kiya." Truly speaking, that's what our connectivity is all about. Ideally, if it is done first thing in the morning. Ideally. However, if our lifestyle is not yet designed, centered around that, I was recently with my family for 3-4 days. My mother's 90th birthday. We celebrated it. Very wonderful. She was so blissful. She was very happy. She said, the secret of my happiness is all my children are taking care of me so nicely. Not put me in some old age home. She was very happy. And I was with my brother. I learned one thing from him, though he's not following the same things, but he has his own sadhana. Irrespective of when he goes to sleep. I don't know how he manages. Of course, now he's retired, so he takes rest in the afternoon. But 3:30 in the morning he's up. I was amazed. And for an hour he sits and does his sadhana of meditation and things like that. And then he reads something. Only then he kind of gets out of the bed. I was very inspired. Determination. Of course, some of the housewives, some of the others, their lifestyle may be such that if they do it like that, then they will be sleeping in the office. So, it may not be right now feasible, but if you gradually and very conscientiously design your lifestyle in such a way that you can actually go to bed early and also rise early. It's a good habit, except for Tuesdays. Then you may say, except for Wednesday, except like that, the whole world, whole day, week becomes exception. But as far as possible, it's nice actually if you can, or fix up some time of the day when it is exclusively. When you do that, the mind is already prepared. He knows, the mind knows. Now we are going to be sitting down and doing it, so consciousness prepares. Anyway, so that should be, at the end of the 18th chapter, we should be smiling. So this acronym SMILE, as we discussed last time, stands for, the first 18 verses is summary of Karma Yoga, dutifully detached work, done as an offering to the Lord, without attachment to the fruits. We discussed what does it mean not to be attached to the fruits. It is impossible not to be attached to the fruits. So what does it mean to be unattached to the fruits? Focusing on how should I do it better rather than why. If something doesn't happen, do we ask, why didn't it not happen? Why Krishna didn't do like this? I am doing it for Krishna. Then that means that you are more fruit-oriented or result-oriented than goal-oriented. So it is not, one should be asking, why not? Why Krishna didn't do this? Rather, how can I do it in such a way that Krishna will be pleased? Maybe this Krishna is giving a indication that you have to do it in some other way. Also, when we are result-oriented, when we get the result, we become proud. And when we don't get the result, we become depressed. But when we are goal-oriented, the goal is, I want to do the best I can. Whether the success or failure, that is up to the divine will. That is Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. 5 reasons we discussed. 5 causes of any activity, success of any activity. Adhishthanam, the place of work. Karta, the doer of the work. Karanam, the instruments of work. Endeavor, Cheshta. And Daivam, the ultimate sanction of the Lord. So, these 2 things. Are we result-oriented or are we goal-oriented? And if there is no success, you think of how can I do it better? Maybe last time I didn't do it so well. Now I'll do it in a more better way. And may I have a glass of water? Check. I was once attending one class by a very, very senior sannyasi of our movement. And he made it, he said, it's an instruction he was telling his followers. He said, whenever somebody is speaking, keep a glass of water always. You don't know when he may suddenly feel, who may die also. Of course, if you're speaking like this and die, very nice. Remembering Krishna, you'll go back to Godhead. But still, he said, anything can happen. People will choke up. It should always be. I was wondering why it is not still there. Sorry. So, the result-oriented versus goal-oriented. Then why should we have a goal? But don't have a goal at all. No. If there is a goal, there is a motivation to work. There is focus in our work. One should have a goal. So then there is motivation, then there is focus. But one should not be result-oriented. If result doesn't come, I will not work again. No, this is the meaning of doing our responsibilities, wherever we are put in life, as an offering to Krishna. Because if you have done your best and you are offered to Krishna, Krishna is pleased with the endeavor, not with the result. Man sees the result, but God sees the effort. Man sees the lips, but God sees the heart. What was your intention? Did you do your best? And if you didn't, try to do it better next time. This is how even without being result oriented, one will be always trying to improve himself or herself, trying to be more perfect, more perfect. That's good motivation. So that's where now Krishna comes to three aspects. Very interesting. We will anyway. So now this second part is M. M stands for modes of nature. That is from text 19 to 40. 41 to 55 is ideal worker, and from 56 to 66 is the love of God, which is the essence of Gita, which Krishna concludes, and then from 67 to 78 is end of instruction, where Sanjaya also speaks about the Bhagavad Gita, who is telling it to Dhritarashtra. He concludes the benefit of Bhagavad Gita and what is the advantage, some Phalashruti, the benefits, like that. So we'll come to, today we'll try to discuss ideally 19 to 40, otherwise as much as we can, we'll see. So, looking around us, the reality is that most people are deeply engrossed within this material world. Krishna pins this down to the modes of material nature that entangle each person according to their individual mentality. He explains how the modes influence our knowledge, our actions, our understanding, our determination, and ultimately our sense of happiness. So, in the last 18 verses, Krishna discussed the two types of doers and how to act, dutiful detachment. So, what are the two types of workers? Who are the two workers? Anyone remembers? Who are the two workers to actually get the job successfully completed? Pardon? No. Karta, kaun hai? Who is the doer? Who are the two doers of the activity? I think I'll have to revise the whole thing again. Who are the two doers? Okay, very good. The body is a doer, the soul is a doer. The body is dead actually. The body doesn't do. That's the soul, correct? So he takes the initiative. Yeah, body is a place of work. I'm asking, who are the two doers? Yeah? Yes. One is the doer, another one is the sanctioner. If he does not sanction, I gave the example of the driver of the car and the passenger of the car. The passenger is telling where he wants to go. Unless he wants to go, where will the taxi go anywhere? But the driver is also the doer because he drives it. So there are two doers. First doer is the soul. Because we want to do. You came here. You are the doer because you decided, I want to be here. On Tuesday between 7 to 9 p.m. I want to be here. You decided. But not a blade of grass can move without his sanction. The Lord allowed you, gave you the good intelligence, everything to actually come here. He sanctioned it. So they are the two doers. But then there is the third doer, as she pointed out. There is a third doer. But that doer is a very special doer. And that is the body, which is influenced by the three modes of nature. Actually, the three modes of nature are material. They are matter. In fact, they are dead. They're dead matter. Body is dead matter. But the three modes of nature activate the body. The soul, when it enters, it activates the body, and the body, influenced by the three modes of nature, does that. So why it is the third doer? In this example, I was just thinking how to understand this. So, the soul is the doer in terms of passenger. He tells where I want to go. And the driver is the doer because he's driving the car. But imagine if the car, I don't know if you have driven a vehicle. How many of you have driven a vehicle? Okay, you will have this example. Sometimes the four-wheeler especially, if it is not aligned, the wheels are not aligned. Sometimes so happens that it keeps on going to a side. And then you have to, like hold it tight or move it. If you let it go, automatically, if you let go, it just goes to the side because it's not properly aligned. Either one side or this side. You have to hold it really. You just kind of let go. It won't go auto. It just go anywhere else. So like that, the body, especially the mind, is now affected by the three modes of nature. Sattva, Raja and Tamoguna. In the 14th and 17th chapter, for those of you who are interested to know more about this, the third doer, you please read the 14th and the 17th chapter. Krishna is just summarizing from 19 to 40. He is going to summarize. There is a third doer also, and that is the modes of nature. And when the modes activate, even you don't want, but still the vehicle goes like that. For example, Arjuna asked Krishna in the 3rd chapter, Atha kena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichchanapi varshne baladiva niyojita. Impelled by what, Krishna? Is a man forced to perform sinful activities against his will? He doesn't want to, but something draws him by force, as if like helplessly drawn. What is that? And Krishna says, Kamayesha, Krodhayesha, Rajoguna Samudbhava. My intelligence says this is not good, don't do it. But then, there's one voice, the mind influenced by the mode of passion, ignorance, tells, no, I want it. I want to enjoy this. The intelligence says, no, last time you did it, you lose. What was the result? You know that? Sometimes inspired by lust, a person does some activity which is not beneficial for that person. Or anger, he is forced to do something, he knows that it is not to be done, but anger is like that. As if you're haunted by another individual. Lust, greed, envy, pride, illusion. These are all coming by the modes of passion and ignorance. And we, since time immemorial, have cultivated it. And they have become so strong that we have no control over it. We know we should not be going, but the vehicle itself takes over. And because they express the desire is there, the driver takes it. So the problem is with the mind influenced by the modes of nature. So that is being discussed in this verse. The third doer. And then Krishna will tell how to overcome that. So once this is overcome, the problem of the modes of nature is overcome, then the two doers remain. The Lord, super soul, and the soul. Soul also should not do anything. If the soul says, my Lord, I am fool number one. I don't know. You tell me what is best for me. Then thy will be done. My Lord, whatever is your desire, I will do that. That is surrender out of love. Not by force, by love. The three modes and the individual soul align their activity in accordance with the will of the Lord. Then you don't get any reaction. You don't get any reaction. Just like when Arjun fought on the request of Krishna for Krishna's satisfaction, even though he killed people in the battlefield, he was not affected by sinful reactions. Just like when a soldier on behalf of the country goes to the front line and kills enemy soldiers, he is not punished, he is rewarded. He becomes a national hero. Why? Because he is using his free will to act according to the will of the higher authority, the country. So here the higher authority is the Lord, who is seated in everyone's heart. From Him come knowledge, remembrance and forgetfulness. So when you want to remember Him, He'll give the remembrance. Sometimes we want to follow the will of the Lord. We want. But the mode's nature take over and say, hey, mat kar, ye kar tu. And our mind is influenced by the mode of passion and ignorance. So even though I have heard in the lecture that this is good for me, for example, I have heard early morning we should get up. Then you get up, but the mode of ignorance says, I'll be so jaya. You go back. Or the mode of passion says, postpone it. Baad mein kar lena, pura din pada hua hai. Acha theek. So this is the third doer. And this doer is very strong. Because since time immemorial, we have pampered it, we have cultivated it, we have nurtured it, we have nourished it, we have empowered it. Therefore, it's like a bad habit. Because the longer the bad habit, the difficult it is to give up. First time it is easier. But a long time if you have doing something, it's very difficult to give up that. That habit is nothing but these three modes of nature. So we'll discuss that. Text 19. Jnanam karma cha karta cha tridhaiva guna bhedatah prochyate guna sankhyane yathavat shrunutanyapi. According to the three different modes of material nature, there are three kinds of knowledge, action, and performer of action. Now hear of them from me. So Krishna is telling, according to the different modes of nature, there are three kinds of knowledge. Knowledge in the mode of passion, knowledge in the mode of goodness, knowledge in the mode of ignorance. Action in the mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. And performer of action. A performer, that is the soul, influenced by the mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. Now he is explaining. Further he goes, Sarva bhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayamikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tadjnanam vidhi satvikam. Achha, before that I forgot to tell, if you have the Bhagavad Gita, you can go back to text 18. I will like to start from 18, the concluding part last time. Jnanam geyam parigyata Trividha karma chodana Karanam karma karteti Trividha karma sangraha. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the three factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of action. See, there is a doer of action, there are constituents of action, then there is a motivation for action. This requires a little bit thinking process. Three things: the doer, the constituents of action, and then the constituent means the ingredients. What are the different ingredients of action? And then there is the motivation for action. And all these are of three types, Krishna is telling. Knowledge. So right now you hear something. After hearing, you are motivated to do something. Oh, acha, chanting the holy name is so beneficial in purifying the heart. Now I know, and therefore I am motivated to chant the holy name. This is the beginning. Or somebody says, "Arey yaar, wo picture kya acha hai? Jaake aa tu." So knowledge, somebody told you, and that is now motivating you to action. So that is one thing, is the knowledge. Depending on what kind of knowledge we receive, that kind of a motivation is there. Then, the object of knowledge. What is the object of knowledge? Oh, I am going to enjoy. I am going to be purified. I am going to become famous. If I do this, you will become famous. If you do this, you will become great. If you do this, you will become rich. Oh, I want to become rich. That makes us activate, or object of knowledge motivates us to do something. First is knowledge. Next comes the objective of knowledge. And next, the knower are the three factors that motivate action. To motivate action, there are three: Jnanam, Geyam, Parigyata. To a dead body, you can't motivate into action. To a dead matter, you can't motivate. Only to a living person you can activate. So, Parigyata, the knower. I am the knower. I was given some knowledge that motivated me to act in a particular way. And I am motivated because I want to achieve the objective of that knowledge. If I do this, I am going to get that. That motivates us. So these are the three types of motivation for action. And then the senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of action. So the three constituents. All of these are going to be described here. That's why I am telling this. Three types of knowledge, three constituents, three types of objective of knowledge. Jnanam, Geyam. If you remember, in the 13th chapter also they discuss this. Jnanam, Geyam. Kshetragyam chapimam. Kshetragya. Jnanam, Geyam. So it's all summarizing. The whole thing is being summarized here. So, Karanam. Karanam means the instruments of action. Karma is the action itself. And Karta, the doer. Right? You need three things to do an action. You need the doer, you need the instruments, and you need to make an endeavor. These are the three constituents of work. And knowledge, knower, and the objective of knowledge are the three motivating forces. This is how Krishna divides action into different motivators and the constituents. Now, they are of three types. Jnanam, Karmacha, Kartacha, Tridhaiva Guna Vedata. So now, text 20, we will forget that. Sarvabhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayamikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tadjnanam vidhi satvikam. That knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities, though they are divided into innumerable forms, you should understand it to be in the mode of goodness. even though there is differences in body, somebody is male, somebody is female, difference in color, fair, dark, or pink and red and yellow, whatever, or different races. You can easily make out one race from another. There are different species, the dogs, the cats, the animals, and the insects and the birds. They're all different, isn't it? Yes or no? They're all different. A male is different from a female. A black man is different from a white man. A Chinese is different from an African. Indian is different from American. A dog is different from a human being. One dog is Alsatian dog is different from a Pomeranian dog or whatever. The dogs are also many varieties. Cats are also very varied. Cat is different from everyone is different. So through one point of knowledge, you see only differences. They are different, we are different. He is different, I am different. She is different, I am different. Only difference is seen. Whereas that knowledge through which, in spite of all the difference, one thing is only seen. Does anyone remember one verse from the Gita which talks about this? I'll give you one clue. 5th chapter, 18th verse. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shunichaiva Shopakecha Pandita Samadarshana. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane. Very highly qualified, gentle Brahmana, highest amongst the human beings. Vidya Vinaya Sampanna Brahman. Gavi, a cow. Hastini, an elephant. Big size, different sizes, different species. Shuni, a dog. Shopaka, a dog eater. Is there any commonality between them? Nothing. Pandita Samadarshina. But a man in knowledge, who is well versed with the true knowledge, he does not discriminate. He does not discriminate. Pardon? Samabhav. Avibhaktam vibhakteshu. That knowledge by which one divided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities, though they are divided into innumerable forms, you should understand to be in the mode of goodness. We see why there are so many difference of opinion, fight and fanaticism going on in this world. Because people see only differences. You are black, I am white. Apartheid, Blacks will drink from that tap. Whites will drink from here. The Brahmanas will drink from there and the Shudras will drink from here. Sometimes you have to make differences on a practical basis. Only those who are completely pure can enter the operation theatre. You may say, no, I am the Prime Minister. Prime Minister ho koi bhi ho. Operation theatre mein aane se pehle, you have to be disinfected. You can't say, no, I am so powerful person, kuch bhi ho, bahar hoga to. That's not, that discrimination is, there is a purpose. Similarly, even for deity worship, why people were allowed? Even if the same person, even if a Brahmana, pure Brahmana, if he has cleaned the gutter and suddenly comes into the deity room, he'll say, hey, bahar ja, pehle haath dho ke aa ja. It's a question of cleanliness not being clean. It's not a question of qualification, that's all. Why everyone is not given entrance into IIT? Oh, आप लोग भेदभाव क्यों करते हो? सबको डाल दो. ठीक है, तुम्हारा ब्रिज खड़ा, तेरा घर वही बनाएगा वो. सबको डालूंगा और जो लास्ट वाला निकलेगा तेरा घर बनाएगा. ऑल द बेस्ट. जो नालायक एक डॉक्टर निकलेगा, 23% पास होके निकलेगा, वो तेरा हार्ट सर्जरी करेगा. जा तू वहां. So, that is all right. That kind of a discrimination is allowed. But when simply, just because I am a particular category, whether I am qualified or not, I should get some facility. That is nonsense. According to qualification, that is perfectly all right. In fact, earlier the higher caste people dominated over the lower caste people and exploited them. And therefore the government made, hey, aisa mat karo. If they are qualified, no, but right now they were deprived for such a long time, therefore they are not qualified. All right, they will do one thing. Even if they get less percentage, they will be given, put in a special category. Because अभी तक इतने सालों से उनको कुछ दिया ही नहीं गया था फैसिलिटी, इसीलिए थोड़ा नहीं कर रहे हैं. उनको एक रिजर्वेशन कैटेगरी, अगर 45 भी लाएंगे तो उनको 65 जैसा ट्रीट किया जाएगा. सो दैट 10 साल के लिए रहने दो. व्हेन इट वाज स्टार्टेड इट वाज फॉर 10 years. बट देन now everyone wants to be, the whole Haryana women are wanting to be one particular category now. Why? Whatever they were fighting against, the same thing is happening now. If you are born in a particular caste, OBC or whatever, you have a right to get entry, whether you are qualified or not. Again, they are defeating the very same purpose for which this was established. Pendulum went like this, now it is gone like this. Now all the Brahmanas also want to be OBC. There is a fight to become OBC, to be recognized as backward caste. So this is the point. Yes, the division can be on a basis of qualification. Guna karma vibhagasha. Krishna also says in the Gita, not based on birth. Son of a Brahmana by birth cannot become a Brahman. You have to qualify. If you are not qualified, you do whatever work you are qualified for. Varna and ashram. Whatever nature, whatever propensity. And we will respect that if it is serving a society's needs. No problem. We'll appreciate, we'll respect. On technical reasons, they may not be able to do certain activities. Because I am working in the graveyard and burning bodies every day. And suddenly I come and enter into some another clean air. Hey, first take bath and come. Purify yourself. Your consciousness also should be pure. That is why they say if somebody dies in the family, close relative dies in the family, don't go near the deities for a few days. Even though if he is a Brahman. Why is it told? Because at that time the mood is not, the mindset is not proper. For every activity, there should be a particular kind of bodily preparation, mental preparation. Imagine if you have fought with your wife and come and then he is driving. If a bus, then if he is thinking and he is driving. And suddenly some fellow comes, imagine if he does that. They are supposed to, like pilots, fighter pilots. I was told one of our colleagues, he's a fighter pilot. Very few, there are 250 or something in the whole of India. Super perfection is needed. Physical fitness should be superb, not only physical, mentally alert. They are told 16 hours before you enter the fighter pilot, enter the, seat, you are not supposed to drink even a drop of alcohol. Not even garlic. It's very interesting. You're not supposed to eat garlic. And then they say how it affects the brain and they think things like that. Superb alert you need because the The plane goes with such speed, one fraction of a second's inattention, and the plane goes like this. It will go inside the ground. That is the speed. One fraction. Sometimes the 26th day Republic Parade, you see, 3 planes are coming like this, they go like this and then come like this. 1 second, or second is too much. 1 microsecond here and there, and finished. Because they're all going with the same speed together. Just, like meters away from each other. So that requires superb fitness, mental alertness, physical fitness. So that is all right. So there is qualification needed for certain type of work. Some are qualified, some are not qualified. But if it is based only on birth, just because I am so and so born in a family, I should be given. No. Not possible. You have to qualify. And anyone who qualifies can get it. That's perfectly all right. Anyway, coming back. So one who sees Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane, Gavi, Hastini, an elephant, Shuni, a cow, and a dog eater. Pandita Samadarshina. Now what does this Samadarshina mean? If I see an elephant, I'll go and embrace the elephant. I see a man, I embrace. But if I embrace a woman, I am Samadarshi, Whoever I see, राहों में आए जो दीन दुखी सबको गले से लगाते चलो. वाह वाह वाह. Try to do it and see what happens. All the best. What does it mean to see Samadarshina? Somebody want to respond? How does a person sees everyone equally? What does it mean? ठीक है, ये मेरा दृष्टिकोण हो गया. व्यावहारिक रूप से इसका मतलब क्या है? यही मैं बोला, क्या सबको गले लगाए चलेंगे? अगर एक बाघ आ गया तो बाघ को भी गले लगाएंगे. तू भी मेरा दोस्त है, तू भी तो आत्मा है. Oh, I'm hearing so many voices. Please raise your hand, and the microphone will come to you because we want to hear your input. Is there a microphone? Oh, today this one. Okay. Sound system is not working. Okay. You can speak little louder. Yeah, this is the intellectual, theoretical understanding. I am asking, how does it translate in our day-to-day affair?
Nobody is superior or inferior.
Pardon?
Nobody is superior or inferior. All are equal.
If all are equal, why I am sitting on a platform and you are sitting down? You come and sit here, I will sit there. This is inequality. I am a dictator, I am nonsense. How dare, you are all such elderly people sitting down and I am sitting up? Unjust. Injustice. Pull him down. Okay, so how does it translate? You're saying equality. Pandita Samadarshina. How does it actually translate? I am Samadarshi.
Friend and enemy is same for us. It is same for us. There is no friend or no enemy.
तो एनिमी को जाके गले लगाएंगे? जो बॉर्डर लाइन में खड़े हैं, इंडिया वाघा बॉर्डर में, उनको बोले. What does it mean to? Yeah?
We should not hurt the feelings. Means if something is meant for a specific purpose, then we have to use it that way, and we should not degrade that thing.
Okay. Arjuna is shooting arrows, killing people, his own relatives. What kind of nonsense is this? Is he seeing everyone equally? Why does he shoot his own people? He's shooting the enemies.
Because it is doing, Arjuna is doing in the orders of Krishna and for Krishna. So it is.
So for Krishna we can hurt someone?
No.
Oh, you told just now. We should not hurt anyone. Even if you slap this side, you show the other cheek. Very good.
Krishna is authorized person.
Oh, okay. So you are telling we have to deal according to authorized way. Very good. That is one good point. So how do I know what is authorization? Whose authorization and what are the instructions?
That's a person in a if he shoots in the there, then it is good. But the same person, if he shoots the person in a neighborhood, then it is not.
Excellent. So first thing is, I am Samadarshi, but I will act. Samadarshi means I will only act with anyone and everyone according to higher instructions. This is good. And what are those instructions? Are the scriptures. There is Guna Dharma, there is Jati Dharma, there is Tri Dharma, there is Purusha Dharma, there is Desha Dharma, there is Sanatana Dharma. So I will act according to personal instructions. Whether the other person behaves in whatever way, I will act according to what my dharma is. This is good. This at least is clear. So you respect everyone. How do you respect an elephant? By humbly moving aside when he is coming in the front. Isn't it? How do you respect a lion? By allowing him to stay in the forest and you stay in Bombay. Not trying to go and embrace. So let him follow his dharma, you follow your dharma. That's one thing. Anything else? Anyone else? You are supposed to deal with women in this particular fashion. I will deal with women like that. I am supposed to deal with animals in this fashion. I will deal with them according to that. I will deal with beggars in this fashion. I will deal according to that. I will deal with elders in a particular fashion, as it is expressed in the scriptures. I will follow that. Irrespective of how that elder is, I will follow this particular pattern. This is one way of showing equality. Equality means I am equally trying to deal according to authorized resources. Anyone? Anything else? Yeah.
We should deal with all, whether it is a favorable situation or adverse situation. Both the situations I should accept it equally in a similar manner. I should accept it as a of the
Then why is Arjuna trying to shoot arrows? He could have accepted and okay.
He was directed by this. So he acted as per the wish of God.
Okay, now Krishna is not there. Now?
It was his duty to do it.
Duty. That's what she is telling. Dharma means duty. And that duty is ascertained by where? Brahma akshara samudbhavam. Yagyat bhavati parjanyo. Yagyaha karma samudbhavaha. Karma brahmo. Karma. You have to do your karma. Asha, that karma is how? Karma brahmodbhavam. It is in the scriptures. And akshar, Brahma akshara samudbhavam. It is described by the Lord. And therefore we will follow. So that is there. And if that says, this is how. If he is adharma, then you have to deal like this. If a dog is coming to bite you for no reason, then you will have to act responsibly. If someone attacks you with a weapon, a thief, a dacoit, then you may have to respond in a particular way. So one thing is following the instructions of our authorities, how to deal. So irrespective of what, I will follow my dharma, which is established. Therefore, at least we should study the scriptures and know what is my dharma. One more thing comes to my mind. A classical example, especially this, Brahmane, Gavi, Hastini, Shuri. I was just remembering, in the Bhagavatam, there is a story of one very, very exalted king by name Rantidev. King Rantidev was a very exalted personality, very compassionate and loving fatherly king who loved all his subjects. And one time in his kingdom, there was a famine for a long time. Practically the whole kingdom was dying. And he, for their welfare, took a vow to fast. He fasted for 40 days. No water, no food, nothing. For 40 full days. Amazing thing was, his family members also fasted with him. He said, if you are not eating, we will also not eat. The whole family of Rantidev were fasting. He came in the family of Lord Ram, Raghuvamsha, for 40 days. At the end of the 40th day, he was almost on the verge of death. He took that vow for the welfare of the citizens. And the 41st day, somebody brought him, to break the fast, a huge plate of food, milk, rice, and some other ingredients, and water. And he was about to honor when suddenly at the door, a Brahmana came and shouted with the core of his heart desperately. He said, "O king, I'm really hungry. I'm about to die. Will you please give me something to eat?" Rantidev picked up part of the food and sumptuously fed him to his satisfaction. And then he took the rest of the food and divided it amongst his family members. And then he began to eat his share. As he was about to eat, a low-class Chandala came at the door. And he said, "Oh, I'm about to die. Will you please give me something?" He picked up his share, took half, gave it to him, sumptuously fed him. And then he sat down to eat. Then another man came. He gave the whole thing. The only thing left with him was water. And as he was about to drink that, a man came with a pack of dogs. And he said, "My dogs are really thirsty. They're going to die. Can you please give us some water?" Now Rantidev knew that if he giving this water meant giving his life. Practically, he's going to die. His hands were shaking literally. But Rantidev prayed. He said, "If by fulfilling the thirst of these people," he said, "I am completely overcome my thirst, my hunger, everything. I'm feeling so joyful by sharing this that I'm completely satisfied." The purport of this story is, this is what he meant by seeing equally. Equally means sharing what one has with anyone and everyone who needs that. I have been given some good fortune and I'm sharing with others. Srila Prabhupada was once asked that, "Swamiji, you are discriminating, you are not allowing anyone to come to your temple." He said, "Yeah, anyone can come. Follow 4 regulative principles, come in. You also sit in the temple. Follow all what we do, you do it, you can come." Then he was telling, "No, what about this? You are not preaching to this." He said, "No, our equality is indiscriminately we try to give this knowledge to everyone. We don't discriminate. This knowledge we will give only to these kind of people. No, anyone who shows interest, we will give this knowledge. In that we are equal." We are not going to discriminate. So, the idea is how I can serve the other person in a way that is pleasing to Krishna. This is equality. How I can serve an individual. How I can serve the dog. The dog does not understand Krishna consciousness. I can't teach Bhagavad Gita to the dog. So I can give a little prasad and give it to the dog, which he can understand, appreciate and progress. Whoever is inclined, I will try to give that knowledge. This is my equality. If somebody is blasphemous and very negative, then I will keep a distance. This is how I serve that person. Because the more I tell, the more he will blaspheme. Me, he'll blaspheme the Lord, he'll blaspheme the name, he'll blaspheme everyone. He'll get more entangled into suffering. Therefore, an envious and a blasphemous person, I serve by keeping a distance. But my only idea is how best I can serve the person to come closer to Krishna. If this is our only intention, then we see everyone equally. How I can get this person closer to Krishna? Just like a mother wants to serve all the children. Those who are obedient, she may pat them. Those who are disobedient, she may sometimes slap them. Externally, she is dealing differently. To someone, she is slapping, and someone she is patting. But no, these are the government. The government has a justice department. Those who follow, they are awarded. Those who break the laws, they are put into prison. They are serving all the citizens. They are doing the same thing. But only thing is, certain ways. The intention of the mother, the intention of government is how best this individual can be served so that he can progress and others can also progress. If he is disturbing the progress, then you serve him by keeping him in a restrained environment. The idea is, I want to serve everyone. But according to their status, according to their situation, according to their capacity, according to their inclination, according to their interest, whatever, I serve. I only want to serve. In serving, we don't discriminate. In dealings, it may be different. But in serving, we don't discriminate. This is knowledge in the mode of goodness. We want to serve everyone. But depending upon their level, we think that we have to tax our brain. How to serve this individual? A child, he doesn't understand all this. How I can serve the child? To come closer to Krishna, to love Krishna, to remember Krishna, to serve Krishna. So this is the whole idea in terms of equality. Alright, we go next. No, we will stop here. Because I was planning 7:30 sharp I will start and 9 o'clock I will finish. So that we will have a nice kirtan. We will relish bhajan. And also, I also feel that after the program, when devotees take lunch, their dinner prasad, and interact with our facilitators, I feel that is also a very, very important part of the program. Many times people may not be able to ask questions here, but interacting, and that's also a very important part of the program. But if it is delayed, the program is delayed, then everyone has to go. Some of them have to go far away. I see everyone rushing. So I feel that this part of the program is also equally important, where we get to interact with everyone and clarify some things and whatever, to get an understanding of whatever was discussed, whatever. So I'll try to end early. We'll have kirtan and then have prasad. Any questions? We can take a couple of questions if there are any. All right, everything seems to be very clear. Or everything has gone a bouncer. Only two. When no hands are raised, these are the two options. Everyone is equally confused, or everyone is completely realized. So one equality is there. So we'll have our bhajan, and I hope all of you have almost know this bhajan now. Nitai Pada Kamala, very sweet glorification of Lord Nityananda, who is none other than Balaram. In Ram Leela he was Lakshman. In Krishna Leela he is Balaram. In Chaitanya Leela he is Nityananda, the greatest servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we'll sing this bhajan now.